Welcome to Straight from the Muzzle, folks, where we're anything but straight. My name is Space.
And my name is Kyra Space.
And we welcome you to our show, which is about what today?
Today we have a very special interview with a couple of very special guests. We have ourselves Jes and Faeym, two wonderful fursuit makers who combine as a team to be Battitude Studios.
Aw, hello. That was so sweet.
You two are a powerful team. You've been around for a very long time. Your suits are known far and wide, and we are very happy to have you guys here.
Oh, we're happy to be here. Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, this is fun.
So I didn't know you guys joined together. So did you guys individually make your own fursuits?
No. I started making fursuits, and Faeym actually ended up commissioning me early on, and that is how we connected officially.
Aww.
Is that how you two met for the very first time?
No, we met at the Prancing Skill Terror.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Shut
Famous.
up.
We did. I know.
That is so beautiful.
Legendary
Eons.
Spawn.
Ages ago.
Extremely legendary.
That's crazy. I've always wanted to go to the Prancing Skill Terror, but
Me too.
can't. Someone should make a new thing.
A new furry spawn point.
Spawn point, yeah.
Prancing Skill Terror is like a furry museum.
Yeah.
There's so much there.
It is really cool. I haven't been in a long time. I swear I haven't been in 10 years.
It's almost like a pilgrimage.
Oh yeah, well for Californians like yourselves.
Yes.
West Coasters.
I'm actually from San Diego.
Really? Aw.
Yeah, I was born and raised.
Whoa, okay. That's cool.
Space is in Utah now.
Yeah, I live in
Okay.
Utah.
Maybe we bumped into each other at one point. Who knows?
Possibly.
Yeah.
That would have been pre-furry, so who knows?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. When did you live in San Diego? Can I ask that?
Yeah, so from 86 to 2004.
Oh,
And
okay.
then
Yeah, no.
Senior year of high school, I moved out here.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's
though.
awesome though, that you guys met through furry and now you're, can I say married? A proposed?
Essentially,
An
yeah.
engaged couple
We're
that
basically married. We just haven't gotten around to it.
and you make
That
fursuits
sounds
together.
stupid. Yeah.
For the LLC. No, it doesn't sense.
Guys are married.
Basically.
They're in love.
What is it? What do they call it when it's like you've lived together for so many years? It's like common law marriage or something.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what? Oh, okay.
I don't know if that applies. Definitely doesn't apply in Utah, but I know it applies in certain states.
Does that mean I can claim you as a dependent? Maybe.
Oh my god.
Funny.
I was watching this one video. This guy was like, yeah, for a couple of years, I would put on my taxes that I had 9 dependents. And the guy was like,
9?
did you really have 9 dependents? He's like, no, but they caught on very quickly.
Oh my god.
can imagine.
That's crazy.
Oh my God.
9 dependents.
Holy crap, man.
Oh my god.
So, Jes, what got you into making fursuits first and foremost? What inspired you? Yeah, what was your first inclination of I want to do this? And when was it? Roughly?
Okay, yeah, so in oh gosh, I think it was 2012. I was actually a furry hater for a while.
Classic.
I feel like that is
Girl.
classic. I feel like it's classic. A lot of people are like, I hate furries. And then they actually look at videos and they're like, oh my god, that's cute. That's me.
Exactly what happened to
That's
me.
what-
I fell down the
yeah.
pipeline. Aw, that's cute pipeline.
It was the fursuits that got me. I watched videos of people at furry conventions fursuiting. It got randomly recommended to me on YouTube. And yeah, from there it was how do I make a fursuit? And yeah, I made a fursuit for Halloween. Yeah.
Do you still have it?
No, I wish I did.
No, your
I
very
know.
first.
I
Do you
gave
have
it
pictures
away.
of it?
I
Yeah.
do. I could share some pictures.
You should definitely share some
should.
pictures.
Oh.
Wait, you should send pictures of that
So I can
one
judge
and your
you.
newest
Should?
fursuit.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, I can look for that. I'm trying to think who I sent it to. But yeah, let's
Was
see.
it your very first fursuit?
That was my first suit, and
Was it your Sona, or was it just a wolf or something?
It was a random, it's funny because the video I saw that really inspired me was this green. I don't even know, I don't know if it's an iconic character. I don't think it is because I saw it only one time in that one video. It was a bright green fox with black, and I think it was realistic because I loved realistic stuff back then.
Yeah.
And it was basically, I just made like a bright green, like fox, like hybrid thing.
Classic. Very 2012 of you.
Oh, 100%.
Very 2012 core.
100%.
Faeym, how did you get into the furry fandom?
Long story short, someone introduced the fandom to me while I was in high school, and I just fell down the pipeline of looking at art.
The art pipeline is a dangerous one.
Yeah, for sure.
Fallen down that one as well.
Man, I wish my introduction was down the art pipeline.
Oh no, what was yours?
He went down a dark path.
Not the dark path.
I found the fandom through porn.
Oh, okay, wait, can Faeym say that then?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There you go. Sorry, I exposed you.
It happens.
It happens. It's hard to escape it.
My high school friend was like, actually, hey, do you know the word yiff?
Oh, God.
And I was like, no, I have no idea what that means. And then just sadly, like it went down the pipeline, and here I am today.
You went to Google, typed it in.
Awesome.
Yep, that's the truth.
That's the 100.
That's the T.
That's all of it.
The 100.
I mean, eventually the porn led into cute furry stuff.
Right.
Exactly.
But,
Yeah.
you know.
That's what
It's like the
That's how it
first
works.
step of the many, many steps. And like sometimes you gotta tumble back and take a look, and
We all grow. We all grow.
we all grow. But it's a part of all of us deep down. So, Jes, after you made your first suit, what inspired you to make another, I suppose? Because many people just make one and done.
Yeah.
Or I guess what made you want to start doing like commissions, or how did you get into all that?
Yeah, so after the first one, I made another one for Comic-Con like the following year. And what like got me actually into furries was like a guy at my high school. He's just like, "Oh my god, I like your fursuit." And like I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, thank you," and blah, blah, blah. And then he was a furry, or he became a furry. And from that, I became a furry because I like was a furry denier for a while. But, oh god, where was I going with that?
Well, you made your first suit. You made
Yeah,
the
second
Fox one. Was the second one his?
No, it wasn't. It was like I wanted to do like a realistic suit, and this fursuit is like the one I don't show people because it's just so cringe. I don't know. I hate it. It's so bad. And like, oh god. But yeah, I played around with that. I probably got resin all over my hands. Probably it's not good.
Yeah, the realistic suits are so hard to make.
Yeah, and then third suit was his, and then fourth suit was my first commission.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you like got into the commissions pretty quick.
Oh, 100%. A little too quick. A little too quick. People were like, "I want a fursuit. Could I commission you for one?" And eventually, like, I gave in and I said yes because I was like, I would love some money. That would be cool.
That's very true. How old were you when you took that
Oh
commission?
my god.
Some money.
I don't even know. I was like, I had to have been like 17 maybe.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, maybe 16. No, I don't know if I was 16. Probably 17.
That's probably good money for like a 17-year-old though. And
I
it's a
need money for
creative
college.
endeavor.
Well, back then fursuits weren't as much.
Right.
For sure. I charged $500 for a full partial.
Wow.
That
That's
included feet.
Such a good deal.
That's
It
unheard
was.
of.
Yeah,
It
no,
just goes to show.
Totally
Sign of the
unheard of.
times.
Oh my gosh.
She was crazy.
Insane.
It's crazy. Well, that kind of ties into our next question that, like, the both of you, when you're working together, you know, now I feel like the Battitude suits are so recognizable. And for those of you listening who are like, I don't know if I've seen them before, like, just Google it. You have seen a Battitude suit. Like, they are out there.
Aw.
There are so many, like, the family is ginormous. You guys have made so many iconic suits. What helped you develop, like, a consistent style?
Okay, that is a good question.
It's a hard question.
It is
I mean,
a
if you
hard
have
question.
if you have like inspirations, or you feel like, you know, there's a method to your madness.
Oh yeah, for sure. I would say like our style was essentially like developed from me like learning and growing from fursuit making, but like also because I was like back then young and I was referencing like other maker suits. I would look at like
Right.
makers I like. I would try obviously not to like pick one and then like copy it. I would take like a few aspects I like of like each one and try to like replicate that.
Mhm.
So it turned into like a little like modge podge of like styles together, and that's kind of how it became our style.
And you guys hand carve your bases, right? Like they're all individual. So, I mean, that's really interesting because not only are you taking on somebody else's character that you have to kind of interpret into your style in some way while keeping what they want consistent, but on top of that, you hand carve it instead of having a base that like you 3D print or...
Yeah. Back then, there was no 3D printers. Sorry.
Yeah.
True. No,
cut you
that's
off.
true. No, I was going to say, what would you guys think is your signature for your fursuits?
Oh, yeah, that's a great
signature.
question.
A lot of makers have a signature style. So if I were to look at your fursuits and the gallery in general, if it were me answering, I'd probably say it's the eyes and the shape of the head.
I hear ya.
Everyone's different, and from the maker, I'd always like to know what your signature look is.
Yeah.
I have an idea, but I'm going to wait. I want to hear I want to see if we have the same answer.
I wonder what, Faeym, how about you? You want to answer that?
I mean, a lot of it is inspired by your artwork, but if it comes to like what comes out and like people are like seeing distinctively, I know Jes has put a lot of time into the development of the eyes. She's hyperfixated on that so much. It's become like an obsessive craft.
Oh my god!
It's well worth it though. They really stand out.
And I don't know, the cheeks. The cheeks are always very like happy.
Yeah, that's what I meant like by the face. I haven't seen cheeks like that in fursuits for a while.
They are some of the cutest. Like they are the suits to show your parents to be like, this is what I'm like. This is my hobby.
My fursuit.
Yeah, they're the model fursuits for like being cute and adorable, I'd say. I was actually going to say, on top of the eyes, which I think have a lot of life, and that's where you really have to get it right, because if it doesn't look right, it's very uncanny valley. But I think that you guys go the extra mile. Like the characters look alive, and I think that you put a lot of time into making each character's eyes unique and like fit their personality. Like I got to see Tay's suit up close semi recently, and I was just like, this suit is so them. Like especially because you know them as well.
Yeah.
I was actually going to say the noses of your guys' suits look a lot like your art. You have like an angular sort of like very like dimensional cubic like toony nose to a lot of your suits that shows in your art as well.
Yeah, I would say like eyes and noses is definitely it for me.
Yeah. You guys do a lot of nice dynamic like 3D noses.
Thank you. That's another thing I've put a shit ton of work in. My bad, can I curse?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
I should have asked that before.
Allowed to swear.
You can say any no words your heart desires.
I can't speak for Jes or the fursuit community as a whole, but I can't say that I really noticed a lot of like breathable, pickable noses until Jes started wanting to really do it too.
When you say breathable, do you mean like you can actually breathe through the nose?
Yeah, it's hollow. Like it goes through to like the mouth.
What?
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't.
Cool.
You can stick your fingers in like the larger nose holes and stuff like that to be silly and stuff.
That's crazy. I did not know that.
It's a cool aesthetic though, that it does go into the mouth itself. So
you could drink
an additional breathing area.
You can drink out of a straw through your nose, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, there's actually kind of funny lore to that now that I think about it. Because this is so stupid. When we were younger, I was updating Faeym's old suit at the time, and like we were just like, it'd be cool if you could vape and vape comes out the nose. And that's why like I did it like that, and then I just did it like that like forever.
That's so funny. Wow.
That's the lore for the noses.
Key piece of Battitude lore. They are vape friendly. They are made for vaping.
I would not recommend vaping in your suit. I'll say that.
Make it smell like strawberry forever.
Strawberry.
Oh wow.
My gosh.
Those are great answers. I wanted to ask, Faeym, do you do digital art, or like I guess what do you both do separately? Like what do you guys tend to work on?
I can share some stuff, but
I'd love to know like what it looks like for the split of like what you both do.
Yeah, okay, so Jes does a lot of the creative design work, and me, on the other hand, I'm making sure that things are prepared and ready, which can be anywhere from like getting the machines to print whatever 3D parts we're going to be using for our suits, to hand sewing and cutting and prepping patterns to be glued onto a head.
Oh, that's interesting.
Very cool.
Yeah, they do a lot of technical work that I am too impatient to do, frankly. They get things very precise, even just patterns.
But your suits come out so clean. Like, you can tell that there's a lot of care put into the fine details as well, which kind of puts you guys over the top. And Faeym, I know you do like the quotes and stuff. That is a huge part.
Oh, yeah.
Differentiating between making a fursuit for yourself and being a full-blown like fursuit making business machine.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Organization.
Gotta find that line to accepting a commission at an appropriate price, and
What kind of things are you 3D printing for the suits?
Right now, we're 3D printing noses and eyes.
Yeah.
Oh.
For right now,
you
it's like
3D
noses and
printing
eyes.
like the eye blanks?
Yes.
Yeah, we 3D print the eye blanks, and we actually do dye sublimation, which is like a heat press for our eyes.
Cool. Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Oh yeah,
because like for those listening who don't know, I made my fursuit head and I acrylic painted my eyes, and the problem with that was, a lot of those, it's a ton of little holes and it gets plugged up, but when you do that sublimation technique, it just prints it basically onto the mesh and you don't get any like goop access goop that you don't need. No goop.
I've never heard of the term sublimation. Can you explain that?
Oh, for sure. Sublimation is a process where you have like a special ink that essentially, like when in contact with like high heat, infuses with like a like synthetic material, and it like permanently bonds to it.
It makes it waterproof, right?
When you see, and like imagine like an iPhone case or just a phone case, like, and the back has like a printed design on it, and it's like plastic. That's sublimation.
So you basically create the eye, like the artwork, and then you do that process onto the eye itself.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, it's a big thing right now. It's gotten bigger like the last few years.
Wow, that's so cool. Because I look at the eyes and I'm like, damn.
They're so bright.
I was thinking like, that's a lot of hard hand-painted work right there just on the eyes. But okay, the process, that makes it even cooler.
Yeah, I mean, they were hand-painted up until, a few years ago. Just a few years ago. Like, I don't know, when did we start doing that? 2023, maybe? So it's pretty recent.
Yeah, it's either like late 2022 or like 2023.
Yeah, I'll still like paint them if people request too.
I found a picture that you guys did of like hearts in the eyes for this one suit. Was that hand painted or was that sublimated? I just sent it.
Oh, did you send it in the chat? Oh.
Yeah, the character has like mint green nose, hair. They're gray.
You're like, I'm sorry, we're like firing so many questions at you.
It's okay.
We are.
These are one of those like from the hip questions because it kind of inspires. Are you creating these eyes like on Photoshop or something, and then you're doing the sublimation process?
I will use Procreate.
Okay, I think it's a funny name for a program.
Yeah, Procreate.
I also use Procreate. It's like...
I love Procreate though. Yeah. It's so good. Oh no, I can't find my first suit. I'm still looking for it.
I'm so excited to see it. I haven't seen it either, so...
Those eyes were hand painted.
Wow!
100%. Yeah.
Those are amazing. I thought those were done like by
They
machine.
took forever.
They came out really good.
Thank you.
Really, really good.
Yeah, like the eyes though, like you're right. Of all of us saying the eyes, like your eyes draw me into the fursuit itself.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just like you have the fursuit there, but if you didn't have the eyes and they were just kind of like generic eyes, I feel like it wouldn't stand out as much. But with your style, really makes everything pop.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
And you guys have a lot of respect for the characters that you're representing. Like I feel like you do a lot of unique touches that complement that character. I'll spill a bit of tea. Our friend Tay is a goofball, and Battitude did their suit. And if you look at the lining, the lining of Tay's suit is crabs. And we joke that Tay has crabs.
Yeah. Tay,
amazing.
Tay has crabs.
That's
what they wanted.
They wanted crabs. And they got it. Battitude gave Tay crabs.
Official crabs.
Official crabs.
That is amazing.
So yeah, for you guys who have a fursuit making LLC/empire. I mean, that's your guys'.
That's crazy.
It's true though. It's your guys' like mutual full-time job. It's just being artists. You're full-time self-employed artists. How do you manage that artistic burnout, like for personal art or projects, and how do you balance that with your commission work?
I mean, it's kind of hard.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Faeym, if you want to elaborate.
We just work all the time.
That doesn't sound good.
It doesn't sound good. We do try to take time for ourselves, so like we recognize when we do hit those burnout stages, and we try to pull away from work, even if it's just like a day or two. We just kind of pull aside, and we either get out of the house or get out of the workspace, and really try to just
take a step
breathe,
back.
just take a step back.
Yeah, and having like normal hours really helps with it. Like, so early on, we did not have hours or days off. Like, we just kind of worked every day. That was terrible.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
No, I did not understand what like hours were. But
Do you guys have like a set time then from when you start working to when you stop?
Kind of. We have like a rough time frame.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
It's all stuff we're still like trying to learn and move forward with. It's a constantly evolving kind of situation that we approach.
I'd say you guys, always bring your friends in sort of as well. Like typically if you guys are working, you're like on a call, or, you invite friends over when you guys are working. So I imagine that makes it seem a little less like you go a little less stir crazy when you have people around you.
100%. We'll invite some friends over. We have some friends who like sometimes help us work sometimes. Shout out Charlie. And like that's always actually like fun.
Yeah.
That makes working fun.
Get the group together.
Yeah.
You guys really love what you're doing, yeah?
Yeah, we do. But yeah, I mean, you get used to the fun. That sounds bad. It is just a job, Like at one point, it just is like, okay, this is my job.
Yeah, not to say like it's like mundane or anything. I love being able to create these characters and get like the individual commissioner something that they're going to love.
Right.
Like something like that is as rewarding as, I don't know, the next big reward. It's just something I can't, I guess, put a proper like label to because it's just so important.
Oh, I found the fursuit. Oh my gosh, this is a terrible picture.
I'm so excited.
Wow, that picture sucks. I mean, I guess it's what you're gonna get because it's all I found.
Well, it's from like 2011, 2012, right?
It's from forever ago.
It's
like
taking on a razor phone.
I was like,
whoa.
I used those are just pictures of like my friends.
That is
my God.
So crisp.
That is found footage.
That is found footage. It's like a cryptid sighting.
Yeah, that is cryptid core right there.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I used Dream Vision Creations, jaw set, tongue, nose for all that, and then the eye mesh, quote unquote, was just like a t-shirt that I like ripped up and like stretched really hard.
Shut up. That's not a bad idea.
Oh, yeah, it's not. Like back in the day.
It was super hard to see out of though. That one, I think I was just trying to like, I just needed something and I'm like, I need this done right now.
Well, I'm sure then there were less like quote unquote rules to what a fursuit was or how to make one. Like there were so many different ways. People were like cutting up plastic plates to make the eyes and stuff. Like I watched so many guides back then of people on YouTube like this is how you do it.
Yeah,
but there's no one way. And now I feel like there's definitely a more like regimented, accepted method to like for somebody to make their own fursuit if they don't have a 3D printer or the technology. It's like, okay, here's how you do a bucket head, here's how you shape the fur. But back then it was a lot more like trial and error.
You wing
going
it.
on forums, guessing.
It's not a bad looking fursuit.
It's really not a bad looking. It's just a blurry picture, but it doesn't look terrible.
If I could find another one.
I've seen one of our hosts, Sparrow, she makes fursuits, and I got to see one of her very first fursuits, and I never saw it again.
Oh my gosh.
It wasn't great.
Sparrow is
she knows it too. She owns to that. Like a lot of people say like their very first fursuit is not the best fursuit. But no, I like yours.
It's a lot of learning. Sparrow is Salmon Run fursuits who do the Mega Maws and Mega Paws.
I love those. Those are so cool.
They're super cool. Did you both like know how to sew? Like how did you teach yourself the sewing aspect, or was it through fursuiting that you learned?
I taught Faeym how to sew, but I learned how to sew because my sister taught me how to sew because we live really close to San Diego Comic-Con and I wanted to like dress up and like...
You wanted to cosplay? Yeah. The cosplay to Furry Pipeline?
It wasn't like a cosplay per se. It was just like a cute little outfit and like, I don't know, I forgot what I was like dressed as. It was like a panda girl or something. something, but like we just like went to Goodwill and like got stuff and then sewed things together, and she taught me how to sew.
Wow. And here you are today, making it your livelihood.
It is.
That's so amazing. How about you guys tell us a little bit about the name Battitude Studios? Because, you know, as the thumbnail suggests, Jes, your persona is a doggy, and Faeym, you are a bunny.
Yes. When I like started taking like more commissions, I think this was in like, I don't know, maybe 2015. I think, yeah, 2015, maybe. Oh God, I don't know. I think it was 2015. I was just like brainstorming names. I really wanted to make something that was like, I was looking at like other fursuit makers' names, and like a lot of them were like, originally were like made for you, more for less. And I'm like, okay, well, there's like a lot of puns, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, I was like, I want to do something that's kind of maybe not punny, but like there's an animal in the name. Right. And I don't know, it needs to be unique enough. And one day it just like came to my brain, because I had like a moment in time where I loved bats. I mean, I still love bats, obviously, but like I had like made a bat character, and I'm like, oh, I love them. And like I loved the cute little like fruit bat videos.
Oh yeah.
And, yeah.
They eat the nanners. Yeah.
And grapes. They're so cute. But yeah, I don't know. It just came to me one day, and I'm like, that's it. So like that's kind
that
of
attitude.
Like, yeah, I mean, there was also like I had thought of a different name that I almost went with. It was gonna be like Bamboozled, but then like when I googled that, I think it was like there was some like I think racist film associated with it. So
yeah,
I'm
there
like,
is.
I was like, I can't do that. It's just not good association, and I don't want people to, you know, get anything like twisted, I guess. Like
Battitude feels like divinely bestowed upon you. Like that like makes so much sense for you guys, and it stuck for sure. Like it is a household name in the fursuit community.
I'm looking at fruit bats right now on YouTube, and they're so freaking adorable.
They're so cute. That's what got me.
I love when they eat the bananas and the peaches and whatnot.
The bananas. They like wrap them up in little blankets when they're little.
They have big wet eyes.
They do.
Little bat burritos with their boba eyes.
Yeah, their boba eyes. Do you guys have a favorite project or character that you've built?
Faeym, do you have a favorite specifically?
I don't think I have a favorite specifically, but I do really like the work that we put into Finn.
Love Finn. I can send a picture.
Yes, please.
I can pull one up right here.
Finn.
Is it on your website?
I believe they are. They're an African wild dog, right?
Yeah, an African
wild dog.
Oh
my god!
They're a nautical themed African wild dog.
That is so cute. Oh, it's like X marks the spot.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's adorable.
A little pirate. It's like a little
so
map.
Precious.
What's with the minus and the O, the legs?
Oh, it's just that one is just like kind of like a circle. It's just the like it doesn't look. It
Part
looks kind of like a minus, but it's not. It's just a spot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's probably the angle.
Yeah. I think I've got more pictures too, but
that's super cute. And those ears.
I'm looking for like the higher res.
That's the best I've got. Is my little phone picture collage.
Oh yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Okay, I see it now.
We did special eyelids for them because they wanted to have a fully closed eye.
Oh, with the blushies.
Yeah, the little blushies.
So that they could give different emotions when they were taking pictures.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's super cool.
One of my favorites that I can think of, as far as like, oh wow, I have a few. I really love.
I also like Killy.
I love Killy. Killy is one of my favorites too. So here's one we did for our friend Winter. I guess her character's name is KJ or Kaylin.
Bunny.
And yeah, she's a hare.
Aww.
And she has removable ears. They can like screw off.
What?
Yeah, for travel. She
That's
can go.
Great. I mean, that character is so ears.
That's
like
genius.
Big ears.
Big ears.
Big ears.
Oh, if you guys ever do a Faeym fursuit.
Yeah, that's the plan.
We got plans.
What does it look like? Sorry, quick interruption, but like, what does it look like if you guys do personal suits? Like, how does that look in your schedule of making? Do you tend to like set aside time?
Yeah.
Or is it like slowly but surely?
You work on it when they're
Definitely.
sleeping. They're
When
like
we're
sleep
sleeping.
making.
Oh, I wish. Oh my gosh.
You guys need
It'd be
clones.
so productive if we could do that. That'd be
Little
crazy.
elves.
That would be amazing. Little elves.
They're just the little fluffs of like fur that have been shaved off, and they come together
Yeah.
at night, and they all congregate, and then they make the fursuits.
I
A
wake
little
up.
crunched up plate of cookies from the night before.
I wake up covered in foam and fur. What was the question? Sorry.
It was like, when do you guys
Personal.
find time to make personal suits? Because you both have personal suits that are kind of like matchy right now. But
Yeah.
I know that
Yeah.
there's one in the works.
When we comes to like personal projects, there's a lot of planning.
Mhm.
We like to talk about it, and we'd like to think about things that we could maybe experiment with
Oh, interesting.
and kind of progress in or get better at doing. Maybe
Yes.
like if we enjoy doing it or the process isn't too hard, maybe we could incorporate it into our commissions as well as time goes by.
Yes.
But a lot of the time when we work on personal projects, it's either after our work hours or over the weekend. And it's just doing stuff for ourselves if we're really just obsessed with like getting progress done on it.
Yeah. Sometimes like we'll take work out of the work day. I'll be completely honest with you. If we're like can't think about anything other than that, then it's like, okay, maybe this day I work on it, you know.
That's fair though. You're being creative, like regardless. And it helps future commissioners, so
Yes.
you know, why not? But sorry, I interrupted you for your other favorite projects and why.
Oh no, that's okay.
So you said Killy.
I could send a picture of Killy. Yeah.
I'd love to see a picture of
I
Killy.
love Killy.
Killy's their Maine Coon, right?
Maine Coon, yeah. Cat.
Yeah.
They're a big cat. Or not a big cat. A big
That's
kitty. Like,
Big kitty.
as far as cats go.
I don't think I've ever seen this suit. Like,
What
oh
year
my
is
God.
that from? 2018 or
Yeah.
2019?
So cute.
Killy's an older suit for sure.
I love the beans. I'm biased,
It
but
makes me want to eat Neapolitan ice cream.
Neapolitan.
peanut butter and strawberry and chocolate all together. Super cute.
I
Also-
don't know about peanut butter and strawberry.
Oh, kitty.
I would say Short and Circuit are definitely a big favorite of mine too.
Yeah,
for various
Absolutely.
reasons.
Those two suits are like, they are like typically the first to come up when you Google you guys.
Short and Circuit?
Yes, Short and Circuit.
Is it based off of Short Circuit, the movie?
No, they're just
It's
two-
electrical themed.
Yeah, they're these
Are
like
they the
electric.
bats?
Yes,
Yes,
they are.
I told Space.
Oh,
in
that's
our-
okay. We were talking about this when we were creating the notes, and I was thinking like it'd be really cool if like I mean I know that the tails do connect together, but if they had an electrical component where it actually made the suits light up.
That would be so cool.
So
That would have
cool.
been so
That
cute.
would have been really cool. I love that.
Yeah, those are really cool looking.
They're beautiful suits. And like the wings like flap and stuff, just very.
They're very old. They're older suits. I don't remember what year.
You
they
wouldn't
were
know.
finished.
I
Yeah,
mean,
they're so polished.
They're so well done. I probably were to see them be like, this looks like a new suit.
Brand new.
Aw,
Yeah.
Thank you. That means a lot.
That goes into our next question. And I have a couple of ideas of what you guys might end up saying, but
But I want to ask one thing real
oh,
quick.
yes, please.
Okay, so I'm looking in your portfolio,
Mhm.
and there is a fursuit, and I don't know what to call the tail. I can't tell if it's like a lobster tail, a dragon tail,
Oh, the
a
shrimp tail.
Is it the shrimp tail? Okay, I was thinking
Yes.
shrimp tail.
Yes.
What is the story on that one?
Yeah, there actually is, like, I know a bit of the story on that one, because that one was commissioned by a close friend of ours, and basically, the suit has been rehomed since then, but yeah, she needed the money, but she wanted to commission a suit, and she wanted me to design her something, and we ended up both designing it.
It's cute.
Yeah, thank you.
It's so
It's
I
cute.
just like the
definitely
shrimp
one of
tail.
my faves. Yeah, the shrimp tail. She got really into shrimps at one point. Like, she had like pet shrimp and stuff, and like she just loved them. At first, like, she was really indecisive on her tail, and then like at the very last minute, she's like, "Can we make it a shrimp tail?" And I'm like, "Yes, we can.
Absolutely.
We have to."
That's adorable. All right, back to Kyra. Sorry, just
Yeah.
totally interrupted you.
It's all good.
I mean, I was gonna ask, and you guys answered a lot of these questions already, but through, you guys have been making suits for well over a decade, right? So what changes in like the whole fursuit making scene have surprised you or excited you? And do you see any trends or like changes that are happening in the fursuit scene? Like, what are you guys excited about?
I think we're really excited about the incorporation of 3D printing with TPU.
Yes.
Ooh.
Being able to use 3D modeling as an additional tool to get really nice shapes and figures for each character is a really cool and interesting prospect that we really want to dive into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For those who don't know what TPU is, it's thermoplastic polyurethane.
Mm-hmm.
Its applications are endless.
Yeah.
It's
like printable plastic foam, basically.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
That's what, on the previous episode with Little Paws, that's what his fursuit head is being made out of. It's like very lightweight, very breathable, and like you can model the suit head in a computer program, like Blender or something, and print it as is.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Faeym. I just wanted to let people know what that was.
Oh,
yeah,
no, that's great.
That's perfectly fine. I was just going to go on to say that there's even people using TPU to basically print like leg structures and definition for fursuit bodies.
Oh, yeah.
That I would love to incorporate into our suits going forward, as long as we can find that like good balance that still makes them feel like big, soft, like characters.
Yeah,
right.
For sure. We'll have to do some experimenting.
I feel like the movements would be even more fluid with TPU.
Possibly. I think
Possibly.
depending.
You have to find that line, like you said, the balance of how it would work.
I think like
it's nice
go ahead.
Because it's durable.
Yes, it's super durable. I really want to like try to make things as lightweight as physically possible without it like making the suit look like, I don't know, like saggy and wrinkly or whatever. But like that would be super cool if we could get that to be really light.
Does it capture heat or does it let heat pass through?
From like what tests we've done and like from what we've seen, it's depending on how you print it, but as long as it's printed with like holes in it, I think it's pretty like
porous.
Yeah, very porous rather than like a thick wall or like, I don't know, how do you say that, Faeym?
Compared to upholstery foam, it is infinitely more breathable.
Okay.
Yeah.
For lack of better terms, it's called gyroid printing, which is basically kind of like squiggles that go in different directions in the 3D prints that leave large gaps but provide support for the print to kind of grow. And the openings that gets printed in the TPU is a lot more open and spaced out compared to your stereotypical like polyurethane foams and stuff like that.
Right. And it's flexible. It's not like, hard resin, which, there's a benefit to using that because you can print it or use a mold, but it's not flexible. And it can also like break and shatter.
Yes. We've been messing around with it. We've made noses with it. Like lately we've been like incorporating it with like doing it with noses, basically.
We've also gotten some test prints of heads as well.
That's cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you guys printing in-house for that?
Yep.
Or
Yes.
Wow.
Damn.
Faeym knows all that stuff.
You're looking towards the future.
The future. It is the future. For sure.
It is the future.
For suit making, sublimation, and 3D printing.
Well, for them to print it in-house, that would make it more, you guys have more control over the design than if you were to have it manufactured somewhere else where you wouldn't have as much control.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it also means that we have to learn every step.
Yeah, for sure. We gotta know how to work the printer, and that's a challenge for sure.
Do you feel like it would be a challenge to keep your style if you're like moving it to like a digital printing type thing? I mean, your suits do look a lot like your art, Jess, like your digital art, but
yeah,
I imagine that's kind of difficult.
It is for sure. I've made so many 3D sculpts and that I've like scrapped because I'm like, I don't think this looks right. And because I've like gotten so much practice in at this point, I think I've like finally got it. But I still need to like,
that's exciting.
I still need to try printing it and like finishing one to see if it looks right,
Right. Well, because you have the math of it being like, okay, I know for a fact, mathematically that this head is perfectly symmetrical, but
yeah,
then there's a whole other, can of worms that you have to go through when you use software like that because it is really difficult.
For sure.
I feel like this is like the evolution of all fursuit makers, though, because you're always, I mean, there are some makers that just make the same design over and over and over again for the rest of their lives. And then there are makers like you that go through trial and error to improve the designs. And eventually over time, it does change because you have new techniques. So that, I think that's a good thing. I feel like you're progressing as a fursuit maker as opposed to those who just stick to the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah, you guys like to branch out and try new stuff a lot.
Yeah, we love trying new things. If it could make the suits like better, that's ultimately the goal. I really want to we really want to make them like as lightweight and like breathable and like performance friendly as possible.
Yeah, always trying to provide the best quality product that we can, and that quality grows with time as well.
Right, and skill and time.
I wish there was like fursuit maker awards where, kind of like the Oscars, where it's not just like the design that's recognized, it's all the things that go into making it itself, like the background and the technique and the materials used. I think that'd be a really cool thing to do.
I do think
there are the Ursa Major Awards. There are furry awards. But I don't know if that pertains to fursuits. I know they do a lot of like writing and documentary stuff.
I want to get nominated for Ursa Majors.
I think
right, Ursa Majors. Shout out! Love you guys.
Shout out!
I
think if I was to nominate someone, I would nominate Val from Mixed Candy, Latin Vixen. All of the stuff that we're talking about is like stuff that they figured out, essentially.
That's so
At least like I would say like in the community. They're always innovating, they're always like trying new things. It always like blows my mind seeing what they do next.
I think it's really positive that like you guys as a community, for the most part, it's all very like wholesome and everyone is happy to share with one another. And I think that's a really great part of the community. No one, from what I've seen, I'm not doing anything professionally, but it doesn't seem like it's super duper gatekeepy with new techniques or things like that.
Oh yeah. There at least,
Because then again, like if you make a suit that uses a technique that nobody knows about and you refuse to share it, like someone else is going to figure it out eventually. So why wouldn't you share it?
For sure. Exactly.
It kind of reminds me of like, it ties in. So here in Utah, we have the most crafted chocolate makers in the United States, meaning the makers themselves make actual chocolate here in Utah. But what's really cool, it's part of a community, and I'm part of the community. It's called the Utah Chocolate Society.
Oh my gosh.
And what's really cool is that the makers themselves don't just, they're not closed off. They actually share, what they know, their techniques, how to do this, how to do that with other makers. And they're doing this to constantly build each other up and be better. Which is a really cool, amazing. I think it's a really unique kind of atmosphere. I've never really looked at a business like that before, so I can see how that applies here in fursuit making, where you guys share ideas or ways to improve to make each other better, which is a really, unique thing to see.
Oh, for sure.
You've had so much like interesting food background, like so many interesting food jobs. Space used to be a cheesemonger.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Official cheeser.
It's basically I specialized in cheese, chocolates, wines, foods from all around the world. It was fun. So I don't do that anymore. I work in medical records now, but I still love the background. I still love like the story behind a certain food. I love the story behind, certain chocolate makers or cheese makers.
Space. You know what you should do?
It's beautiful.
You should have our listeners send in, you should do fursuit cheese commissions or persona cheese commissions. Send in your persona, and you will recommend a wine, a chocolate, and a cheese based on that person's persona. I'm not even kidding.
So
I would do that.
I
would want to know, like, just describe like the character's personality and what they look like, and you can be like, bam, 1, 2, 3. They look like a camembert, a sharp cheddar, a rosé.
Oh my god, I want to know my cheese.
I know my cheese sona.
My cheese and my wine.
You'd have to send me a picture of your curtain soda.
Perfect pairing. Well, that perfect for the next question. We wanted to ask you guys about your characters connected to the company, or like what your guys' personas are and how you developed them.
Characters connected to the company is mostly our unnamed mascot. Just like a purple bat. I mean, that's really it. We haven't really like got a name for them yet, though.
They don't have a suit, right?
They don't have a suit. I'd love to eventually like get them a suit. I'd love if we could make them a suit and have a name. I have no idea what to name them though.
Yeah, I mean, you're still stuck on creating logos. And
Oh my gosh. Don't remind me.
you
It's
spend so much
hard.
time just drawing the mascot over and over again.
It is a very cute mascot. But then you both have, personas. Tell us about your personas and how you came up with them. And it could be multiple because I know you both have at least 2, if not more.
Yeah. Luma, my character Luma, is I used to be, my main persona was a dragon, and I don't know, I kind of got tired of being bright red, and I know that sounds kind of funny, but like I was just like kind of over the color. So like I actually ended up changing her design. She's more like orange now, but like I really wanted to make a fursuit for myself and Faeym. We were going to make personal suits, and we decided like, let's just make cute little dogs. So I made Faeym's character August was actually a pre-made design that
really?
Yeah.
Lore. Did not know that.
That is lore. And Faeym was like, I like that one. Can I have it? And they ended up changing it a bit, to make it their own. And Luma, I just wanted to be a border collie, and I wanted to be purple, and that's like kind of all I knew. So I took a really long time, which sounds kind of funny because it's really basic, but like I ended up just sticking with like the basic border collie, like
I'm sending the pictures
pattern.
of that. The first one is Luma, and then I'll send August as well.
Yeah, I essentially just made a basic border collie, but it's purple instead of like gray and black.
They're both so cute. I feel like they go really well together.
Thank you. It was unintentional.
Cute.
But
so the top one is Jess's, and the bottom one is Faem's.
August and
before August, I had a blue wolf character.
Classic.
Of course.
But they were like a hybrid character with like a phoenix with like darker colors. So it was like covered in feathers and stuff.
And now you're Bunny.
And now I'm Bunny.
Now you're Bunny. You want to explain how you became Bunny?
Yeah, how did you become Bunny?
I think I could say a few things.
If you want to explain, you can, but
can't be. We have
one
a
of
friend.
One of our friends is very energetic, and I've been close friends with them for quite some time now. And their main character is a bunny, and I've always kind of aspired to be a little more energetic or be more talkative and there, present in the moment. And I would say that he influenced my transition into a bunny.
Your bunification,
my
bunification,
if you will. Because it just felt like it's the kind of character that would elicit or be more appropriate for the things that I wish I could like change myself into or grow into.
Bunnies are joyous, and
they are joyous creatures.
Every time they got like a bunny gif or something, they'd be like, "Look at this bunny!
Look at this bunny!"
I love bunnies. But yeah, that's that. Yeah. Shout out Campy.
Yeah, shout out Campy.
What are some memorable experiences you guys had at conventions or events? And I feel like there's a few examples that you guys would give. Some like iconic events of your suits being worn in public, some iconic images. I said that y'all would know when you see a Battitude suit, but I know that there's a couple bangers that you guys know and love of your suits being worn, and some like classic furry meme images.
Oh yeah.
The one that I specifically think of is it's Rocket, right?
Yes, that suit. Hold on.
It's Rocket, and they're bending down to like reach their hand out to a dog, and the dog is like reeling back on the leash.
It is. I have it on our website.
Let me find it.
I can pull it up here.
Furry meme with dog. Oh yeah,
we made that fursuit head. It's a classic.
It's amazing. The dog's like, oh god.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a classic image. As far as like experiences like at conventions, some of like my most memorable and like beloved experiences are like people coming up to us and like being like, "Oh my gosh, you guys are Battitude. I love your work." And we've had like kids come up to us and say, "Oh my god, you're Battitude, blah blah blah," and it's so sweet. It's always so cute. So I remember at AC 2018 we had that happen, and it was like one of the first times it's happened, and it was just so wholesome.
I feel like there's a lot of kids in the fandom now. I feel like there's a lot of young people in general, and like we were all kids in the fandom once too. So like keep stay here, keep making art. Make your own fursuits.
Don't let people bully you out of the things you like.
God, yes. So true.
Yeah.
I'm so happy I'm still here.
Me too.
Yeah, keep that whimsy.
Your whimsy.
Keep the cringe alive.
Keep the cringe alive. Keep your whimsy.
Ah, the cringe is the best.
It is. I love being cringe.
The cringe is the best part. Gotta be cringe.
With my friends.
Cringe with my friends.
Also, seeing our suitors in like groups and in person is definitely like up there for us too. It's really sweet meeting everyone in person. They're always so nice and everybody is so sweet. They're like a little family for us.
Yeah.
In like the group picture. Aw.
You guys have a ton of group pictures, and like that's a thing a lot of makers do where they'll, if you're at a convention, it'll be like, okay, here's the, it would be like the Battitude Studios meetup at blank o'clock at this location, and everybody comes in, and yeah, that's how you get pictures like that.
Yeah, that was actually
So
us
cute.
finishing up the group photo, and everybody like hugged. It was so sweet. It was very sweet.
Super sweet.
But yeah, that was definitely a highlight.
You guys have a lot of like very loyal. I mean, do you know how many suits you've made?
That's what I was going to ask that question early on, but I'm like, it's not the right time to ask it.
Like, how many Battitude suitors out there running around in the world today?
Oh my gosh, I was keeping track for a while, but I stopped keeping track.
Yeah.
I think it's at least 100. Like,
oh my god,
it has to be. Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, it's got to be close to 100.
I think it's over 100. I won't lie.
I'd say 80 to
No,
110.
It's over 100, I think.
It's within that range.
That's
nuts.
a lot of suits.
It's a lot of suits. Many years.
Wow, that's awesome. If you were to go back to like when you first started making fursuits to give yourself one message, I mean, we said be cringe, but what would your advice be to your younger self on top of being cringe or staying cringe, I suppose?
I would say that this is also a more broader statement to anybody aspiring to make fursuits or take commissions, and it's to take your time. Start extremely slow. Don't take more than you can bite off, or like don't take more than you can chew.
Yeah.
Don't bite off more than you can chew. It is a lot of work. Even just a head can take a month or two to complete.
Or months if you don't know what you're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, don't bite off more than you could chew. If you're gonna if your goal is to take commissions, you need to make like suits and know like how like I guess how well paced you are, and I don't know, maybe get some idea on like how the business side of things go before doing it. Because you could really easily, and like I say this very like I say this with experience, you could mess up your life if you do not do this right. It is very easy to mess up your life, like very like seriously, like saying that like it could put you in so much debt, and it could do a lot of damage to your mental state.
And on top of that, like if you're a bad business person, like even if it's not self-employment, if you're getting a good chunk of money off of like what you're doing and they're high quality, but you're, stringing along commissioners or just being a bad business person, then that
money
reflects solely on you and not a company.
Yeah.
Like you are the company. So you have to like be the PR person. You have to be the person working. You have to you have to wear many, many hats.
Yep.
And
100%.
That's why you have to be so careful, because
Yeah.
like word gets around too. Like it is a small community.
Yeah. If you take like I'll say based on our own experiences, we did not run the perfect business of all time. In like 2017, we took like 10 commissions because I wanted to do commissions for people I thought were cool and I thought would be like maybe like I'm like I want to be their friend. I know that sounds silly, but like that is like one reason we did Short and Circuit.
But that's the kind of transparency that's like, well, yeah, like this is a fandom and it's a family, and like a lot of people, in a traditional business setting, you don't have that proximity to the people you're working with. And here there really is. So, I mean, the honesty is important because that's, I think, a lot of, especially young suit makers now, even like artists who take commission work, it's like, don't overwhelm yourself or don't use your craft as a way to like get into the social circles. Cause like eventually it'll pay off. Like, having good friends and good people around you.
100%.
They'll find you and you'll find them.
And using it like that, using it as a crutch for stuff like that could really burn you out as well.
Yeah.
Right.
But we took like 10 commissions and then spent all the money, just straight up, because we didn't know how money was, like, I didn't know how money worked, and like we needed IKEA furniture. I mean, I don't know, like we probably spent on stupid things and lived, and you know, it was bad. It put us in a huge hole for like years. So it is really important. I just want to like emphasize that to anyone listening who's young and wants to be a fursuit maker. You know, be really careful with your business.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's good advice.
Yes.
Good parental advice. So what does it look like behind the scenes for you guys, like day to day or like in between suits? We kind of went into that a little bit, but maybe something that people wouldn't know that goes into it.
We walk into the workroom with fresh clothes and we walk out with a new fur coat every day.
That's so true. That's so true.
Synthetic fur.
That is super true. Oh my gosh. Wait, this is like a silly answer. I mean, you know, whimsy,
please.
But whimsy and all that. But like, if we're making a suit that has like dark colored fur or like black, usually if it's like black or brown, if there are like little like fur dusts around, I will think that it's like a spider in my peripheral and it will scare the shit out of me. So that is one thing. If we're working with like black or dark fur, I'm like, okay, let's pick this up so I don't like shit my pants later.
Yeah. Spiders everywhere.
Yeah.
Cast curse of spiders upon you.
Curse of spiders.
It's so true though. Like I'll wake up in the morning and I'll be like, was that black spot there last night? And I have to like put my glasses on. I'm like, oh, okay, thank God.
Oh my God. That fur gets everywhere too.
For sure.
Like, oh my God.
Follow in the bathroom. And I'm like, oh no.
Do you guys wear masks when you shave the fur?
Yes.
Yes, sometimes. I am pretty bad at it. I need to be better about it.
I'm so bad. When I did it, I didn't do that because I was like, I'm built different. And then the next day I was like coughing up fur balls of dust.
Yeah. You are not. You're built the same.
100% wear a mask.
Yeah.
Do you guys wear like the painter respirator masks when you're doing them? Or you just wear like the N95 thingies?
I mean, I would recommend using the more airtight seal respirators for like the painter ones, but an N95 mask will also work very well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to explain. Like, it's like fiberglass in your lungs. It's like millions of little dust shards.
Yeah. An air purifier
and you,
too.
Yeah, I did it in a small room with a window closed.
Make sure you got ventilation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ventilation, a mask, an air purifier.
I have a gas mask, and I always put it on when I'm cleaning out my computer because the dust goes everywhere. It's so bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Fame's cleaned out our computers, and that can get rough.
Yeah.
Dustopia.
I'm gonna be like, what are you wearing? I'm like, don't talk about it. Let me just clean.
One thing,
it's an all-day project, dusting computers.
I would say like we get more dust than the average person too. That's another thing. We get
in Southern
so
California.
much. Well, because we're fursuit makers, we get so much dust. It's dusty.
It's a double-decker. It's dusty.
It's dusty. We need to dust.
I mean,
often.
Utah gets pretty dusty. Like when it gets windy here, because like it's just a dry mountain valley desert that we're in. Mm-hmm. So it's just like you look outside, I'm like, is that smog or is that dust? I don't know. I usually stay inside because I have really bad asthma. So like it's just it's the worst.
We had our last episode talking about, commissioning a fursuit from the commissioner's perspective. Mm-hmm. And you guys are the commissionees, the artistes, let's say. You guys are the artistes of the fandom. So, if there are listeners who are looking to commission a fursuit, not just from you guys, but in general, what advice would you give them? What would you recommend? Like, for the most angelic, like wonderful, seamless experience on both ends, how would you go about that? Or what advice would you give?
Doing research on your maker is probably the most crucial thing you could do.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's a maker you love dearly, you want to make sure you know what you're getting into. So, read their terms, look at their prices. After you're just like, okay, that looks good, maybe look for a public Trello or a queue.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like a big thing that ties into what I was saying about taking on too many projects. A lot of makers fall into that cycle. So if you're patient and you don't mind waiting years because it's a maker you really love and they put out suits reliably, maybe, if you don't mind, go with them. But if you are like, I want my fursuit in a certain amount of time, and, I would definitely look for makers who have a shorter queue, just things that you prefer, I guess.
Yeah.
Go based on their style, because if you ask someone to change their style, they probably won't.
Right. Well, because it's just not in their wheelhouse to do so. Like, you can only do so much.
For sure.
Like, make sure that your character would look good in their style.
100%. Back when we weren't as popular, we had people being like, I want it to look like this one. We're like, no.
Well, yeah, because you guys didn't, and if you guys didn't make that, I mean, you can't, at some point, I mean, it's not plagiarism, but if it's like, I want it to look just like this other maker suit, it's like, well, we can't do that.
Yeah.
It's just kind of disrespectful.
I guess. Faeym, did you want to add anything?
Make sure that when someone goes to commission that you have money saved. It is a luxury item, but it's not a necessity. Don't rush into it. Don't go and take a loan out. Save your money and then approach the artist you want to get a suit from with time. Be patient.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't be like one of my friends who use their school loans.
Oh
my
god. That is insane.
I'm like,
crazy.
That's a whole other level of
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
College, nah. Fursuit,
Yup. Oh man, yeah. Saving up, definitely. Save up. I think I like to recommend this to people because we don't give quotes really. It's really time consuming, so we don't give anyone quotes throughout the year because it's just a process. But
yeah.
And quotes would involve looking up exactly what fur that character would need, how much of it, pricing out just the physical materials necessary, plus time and labor.
And a lot of people just want to quote and probably won't come back. So it's just we quote people who we approve, and I recommend saving up the money that is the base price of whatever maker you want. At least save up the base price.
Yeah, a lot of makers will have that generalized price that you can, work towards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is there anything you guys wish people would do more, or I guess less, when they would approach you?
Clients?
I know we've been very lucky to get all of the commissioners that we've had.
Yeah, we've had some really nice and epic ones.
Yeah. Very epic ones.
We've definitely heard some horror stories.
We have.
Yeah, I mean, you hear a lot of them because it's, it's a process.
I love horror stories.
It is very entertaining, I will say that.
I'd have to think, personally, when you say that, do you mean people who just randomly reach out to us, or do you mean people who we're working with?
I guess both. I feel like I don't remember when we talked about this. I think it was in the Making Friends episode, but it was what not to do, and it's just sending a DM hi.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Read the artist's TOS, see what the process is, really familiarize yourself with what their process is, because you're walking into their world.
For sure.
And you're paying them to work for you, but it doesn't mean that they get to do what you want when you want it. It's you have to read their terms and agree to it. That's what the transaction is. You're agreeing to those terms of service.
Yeah. I guess that's a good one. Just hi.
Yeah, the hi.
Yeah, we'll get messages like that, and it's I'm not responding. I don't know if you're a bot.
Right.
Because there's so many bots these days. So especially need to be hi, I'm interested in a fursuit,
Right.
At least start it with that.
I remember one. We've definitely had some people come to us and they've tried to barter with prices.
Oh yeah, or like at least look at prices before you come into the maker's like email or DMs. Like know how much it is, because yeah, we've had people really be like, "You'll do it for $1,000, right?" Or like a few $100 for like a full suit. It's like, no, I'm sorry.
No heart emoji.
Been there, done that.
Well, most suit makers have prices, rough prices listed on their website.
Yes.
Like check, read through it, assume, and don't be offended if it's out of your budget, because it is, like Faeym said, it's not a necessity at all. Don't barter. Like,
that is a big
just
one.
walk away.
That is a big one.
Yeah. We charge as much as we need to charge to survive, not because we want to live an exorbitant lifestyle.
Exactly. That is one thing that I will put emphasis on, is that is actually like probably my true answer to the question, is like, don't like complain if like it's too much for you, because
go somewhere else.
Yeah, it is.
Or make your own.
Yeah, go somewhere else.
Which still costs money, but
there's a wealth of knowledge too. If you really want to have your own fursuit and can't afford a bigger name maker or someone who's been making suits for a long time.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Well, and I was discussing this with Kyra when we were making notes for this episode, that art is subjective to whoever is buying it. So the thing is that it just depends on what you are willing to afford. If you can't afford a certain suit maker, look for someone else that is within your budget. But don't complain about someone's budget or their prices because you can't afford it. It's like it's not like I go to like a sports car place and I'm like, I want to buy a Ferrari, but I only have $500.
Right.
Like it's
That's 100%
not fair.
Yeah.
Life is cruel.
No.
No.
And I think why people do that in furry, I can only, guess that it's because people think that because it's an individual that's making this art as opposed to a company, that you can engage with them on like a more personalized level. But it's like, for the people who do this professionally, this is their livelihood. So it's very disrespectful to assume that you could, talk them out of what they're asking for, or God forbid, suggest that it's, somehow outrageous that their living wage is too much for you.
For sure. Yeah. And even if people's like prices are way higher than average, like that's how much they charge based on like, like what people want. Like if a lot of people, if like a buttload of people want their work, they're going to have to charge more. That's
yes, and I've seen that too with like a lot of people say, oh, well, like there's inflation in the economy, so fursuits are inflated. It's like not.
Partially.
Don't Google that. Don't Google
not fursuit inflation.
But like that is true in a sense, but also like you said, like you're paying for the product, you're paying for the art, and it is based on the quality and the care.
It's a wearable piece of art.
Yes.
It's a wearable piece of art, and we've said so many things in this episode, how you guys, do the eye printing and you're working on the 3D stuff, and like you're always innovating, like you are true artists in the field, and you should be proud of your work, and it should, make you a fair living, because you deserve your art is valued. Yeah, you work very hard.
Yeah, I hear that. It's one thing people don't really think about is that's our prices, but it's because like the people paying us to make suits, they need to pay our rent essentially. Like gotta pay for like our rent, our equipment, our time. It's very important that we make enough that we can afford doing that, and we can live like stably.
Right.
For sure.
Because it's hard. And it sucks to, live right now. But
in the United States, it's like super expensive to rent. Like, I guess in some areas where we live, it's really expensive. But
it's almost like cheaper to get a good mortgage to buy a home than it is to rent at this point.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to like we're like in Utah. Sometimes the rent is higher for a smaller amount of space than it is just to buy, but then it's really expensive to buy, so you're kind of like stuck in the middle here.
Yeah, you need like an enormous down payment.
The furry housing crisis.
There's something else I wanted to tie into that, but I forgot, low-key.
Any advice that you would give to somebody listening who's looking to commission a fursuit?
I mean, all the stuff I said before, for sure. I remember what I was going to say. Okay, there's always going to be a maker that fits your budget, regardless.
Yes.
Unless your budget is $2. Like, I'm sorry, but unless your budget is below, like, I don't know, I guess a few $100, because that's pretty low. But there are a lot of people just starting out who will do stuff really cheap. Some people will do stuff for materials cost. I won't say like bet on that, but like you will find people out there like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Just be careful not to get scammed.
Yeah, very true.
There are like reliable companies in like overseas, in like China, for example, who they actually make pretty like inexpensive fursuits. Like, you're not gonna get the best quality fursuit, but you're gonna get a fursuit that you can wear and like use.
Go to a convention.
Yeah.
When Little was on the last episode, we talked about that like triangle of like high. Oh man, what was it? Space.
It's speed. So you can get a product fast, and you can get a good product, but it's going to cost you a lot.
Yeah.
You can get a cheap product, you can get it fast, but
it's going to be lower
quality. And then I can't remember what the third one is. But we use the triangle a lot in our episodes because it's a good reference to how you can go about commissioning things in the fandom.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
and then 100%. Me and you were talking the other day about, I was asking you to look something up on Instagram, and you were like, I just can't believe how many makers there are. You're like, there are like a zillion makers.
There are so many. It's like overwhelming how much there are these days.
Yeah.
So there's plenty to choose from.
Plenty. Gotta find them. You just gotta find them. That's it.
They're out there.
Yeah.
Looking ahead for you guys, like, what are your goals, or do you guys have like dream projects, upcoming exciting plans? Like, you don't have to say everything, but maybe just something for our listeners.
As far as goals for our business, finishing our queue, or at least getting it down to like 2, because right now, like, we've been essentially working, like, I don't know how to like phrase it, but like climbing an uphill battle with like working on our queue and getting it down, and we are getting really close to finishing that. So we have like 4 projects left, and we're working on 3 of them right now, and they're getting like a lot of progress is being done, so that's cool.
So you're saying slots may be opening
soon, and I don't mean gambling.
That would be so cool though if you go to like a slot machine and you got like 3 furries in a row and like, I got a fursuit.
Freaking BLFD.
This is strictly a scratcher household.
Scratcher household.
Scratchers.
No, it's not. Faeym, you have any dream projects, huh?
Well, Faeym, for one.
Yes, Bunny.
You want to elaborate on your ideas for Faeym?
Yes, Jes has been exploring a lot of different fur options, and one of the up-and-coming furs that we've noticed is stretch fur.
Yes.
Yeah, that one's becoming more and more, like, it's becoming, like, easier to get a hold of these days.
So I am super excited to use this material to basically create my true Sona Faeym.
Yeah.
Like I'm really excited to make Faeym, and it's a project that like I think about like almost every day. I'm like, I can do this and we can do that, and sometimes I overwhelm Jes with how many things I want to try.
A little.
But you're gonna be body T, let me just say, in a stretch for fursuit of Faeym. That's gonna look so good.
100%.
Yeah, cool. I'm really excited to do that. I'd also like to slowly progress into incorporating more features into the suits. I want to figure out, since we're moving into 3D, I want to figure out how to make heads a bit more modular and customizable. So adding things like moving jaws and stuff like that could be a really fun project. I'd like to explore with time.
So everybody, listen up. We got removable ears, we got vape holes, and we're gonna have
vape holes,
moving jaws. We get everything.
We've
I'd love for someone to like just stick a vape pen like in the nose.
Oh my gosh.
Got some close buddies who have been talking about really wanting to do like screen LED eyes and stuff like that.
Yes,
those are
I've
cool.
seen those. They're so cool.
So exploring further into like the electronic component aspect of fursuits might be in the future as well.
That would be definitely a side project.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
To have that incorporated into the ears, so the ears kind of move naturally. Yeah,
that would be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be super cool.
I remember a lot of people use those. I forget what it was called. The like brainwave cat ears as a base, and then they would like build the fursuit. I had those when I was like 13.
I always wanted those.
They worked pretty good. They were just kind of loud, like the motor was loud. But in a fursuit, you wouldn't be able to hear that.
It might be muffled.
It's listening to your brain.
Yeah, and you guys made Spencer, the deer, who's on TikTok, has a lot of followers on TikTok, and that suit has very, like, wiggly ears.
Oh, yeah.
How did you guys do that? Is it just, like, they're kind of loose?
Yeah, basically, we kind of stopped doing it because, like, a lot of people, okay, so we actually learned this from Mischief Makers and OG Maker, but you basically just don't glue the ear down. That's pretty much it. You just don't glue it onto the base. You, like, all the fur is totally sewn together around the ear completely.
So it can't escape.
Everything around it is glued on. So it's in there. And, you know, the fur is glued to the ear, like the middle of the ear, right? Or the, like, ear itself, just not to the base. That's it. That just creates the wiggly effect. Some ears, like, have, like, better anatomy for wiggling, and that's where, like, the deer wiggles come in because of the positioning of them.
Spencer has ginormous ears.
Spencer has big ears, like, to the side.
Do you guys ever go to, like, conferences for, like, materials and stuff to kind of learn about new, like...
Yeah, how do you guys, like, see new stuff?
A lot of the stuff, like, the new stuff, we actually, like, we're in a fursuit maker chat that...
Rad.
Yeah, I guess we, like, admin for it, but, like, we got a fursuit maker chat, and a lot of makers in there, like, they show off what they're doing and ask questions. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'm sure there are other fursuit maker chats and people do that, but that's where, like, I learn a lot of stuff. I would say like a lot of stuff I'm learning. I'll say Latin Vixen's in there, and they always are sharing, like, really cool stuff.
Anything from, like, materials used to like trace and cut patterns to like
techniques.
Like, everybody's really nice about sharing their experiences / teaching.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I wish I would totally go to a conference. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
Conference would be cool.
Furry con, short for conference, and everyone has to wear, business.
That would actually be kind of cool, though.
Yeah, I'd go to Furry Con.
Furry Con.
Furry Con convention.
Yeah.
I have this idea for an episode, but I'll talk to you guys about it off recording.
Okay.
It would be a very controversial, but at the same time, an anonymous episode idea.
Oh, yeah. I think you should share it.
Do you want me to share it while I'm recording?
Oh.
I'd
say no, just for the audience, so the audience doesn't know yet.
Okay, I can do that.
But it's good. It's a good idea.
It's a good idea.
I like it. Plug your socials, you guys.
You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Battitude Studio. No S at the end, just Battitude Studio. Our website is battitudestudio.com. You find us there. Blue Sky. Yeah, we're on Blue Sky. We don't post a whole lot, I will say. But if you go to our, like, Twitter, the first link, or, like, the links in our bio, it has a link to our Telegram channel, and that is, I'd say we post more there.
Yeah, that's the most active one.
We also have a Patreon where we post work in progress pics, and it helps.
That is so awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to thank you guys for coming on in general. This was a really fun episode.
It really was.
Yeah, we had fun.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Oh, I wanted to ask if you guys table at conventions ever, or, like, if you have any upcoming cons planned.
Yeah, we've tabled at a few. Faeym, you want to chime in?
Yeah, we've tabled at, what is it? It's Anthrocon, right?
No.
Not I'm sorry.
Further confusion.
FC, further confusion.
Yes.
Yeah, a few times.
Up north in California. We like tabling there. I think if we're going to table, it's going to be closer to us because traveling across the country with lots of stuff is kind of hard and expensive. But we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see in the future. Keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah, things like if we branch into other avenues, we want to I really want to get into making like merch and stuff and making designs for like shirts and like all that cool stuff. If we end up doing that, I would love to go to more cons and people at more cons.
Absolutely. We definitely want to dive into more merch. We want to expand the brand.
Yeah.
Expand the brand.
Expand brand.
Of the LLC. Official LLC.
What is it with you and LLCs?
Our friend.
Okay.
Is it? Yeah. Are you talking about like Rolf?
Oh, I'm just saying, like, you guys, we tend to make fun of them for it a lot.
Yeah.
We were, the LLC is a recent development, so we kind of push their buttons about it, because we're like, oh, Battitude LLC, very official. Yeah.
Our friend Rolf, he helped us get, like, our LLC going, and he's like, Battitude Studio, LLC, CEO Jes.
CEO Jes.
Yeah, and then, they're just making... They love to poke.
Just like him.
Poke me.
Shout out Rolf Shepsky. All of our friends were mad at us that we didn't shout them out, so shout out to all of our wonderful friends.
Shout out to our beautiful, wonderful friends.
We love and appreciate.
They are amazing.
They are amazing.
Can't be furry without friendship. And yeah, thank you guys for coming on. I'm very lucky to be so close to you guys and be silly.
I love being silly.
And this is a very silly episode, but a lot of important stuff. Too,
for sure. Thanks for having
from your guys' side of things.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys are welcome. As usual, we thank our listeners for tuning in. And if you guys ever have questions or you guys want to request guests, you can always email us at talktothemuzzle@gmail.com, or you can always just find us in Telegram for more immediate responses, which is always
join our Telegram group, send us emails. And we love you guys. Thank you for listening. You guys are the best ever in the whole world.
Aww.
You guys all everyone have a great day. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.